The boy intended to take a bus 57 direct to the museum very early after an appointment for a group project. The girl, book in hand, was supposed to be heading to the university library, very quiet corner on the second floor of one of the coast. Thunders midway crowd, without blaring and people jostling like waves crashing on concrete. They both boarded bus 75. They didn't know each other, not yet. He sat at a back, hoodie pulled over his head, earbuds in, seated near window in middle road, underlying lines in back of Miss Dalloway. The lives are two parallel lines, but close but never intersecting. As they turn against them, turn it in, the boys notice something odd. The buildings look a great wall as they cross into another ticket. He removes his earbuds. The bus turned down the street, the window wasn't on his mental map. To stop the could stood up, front and road sign. Her lips moved silently as she read, "This isn't right," she muttered. The boy stood too. The rest moved around. He lost two. He asked sibling, "I think so." They exited the bus at the same stop. They stood quietly, neither of them. His head is was the wrong turn to begin everything. The street has landed in a narrow couple landline with antique shops and shattered bookstores. There was no bus stop sign or no schedule, no other people. "Where are we?" the boy asked. The girl looked at the phone, no signal, no Wi-Fi either. He frowned. This feels off. Like a forgotten corner of the city. She agreed. They started walking, thinking a larger road would appear soon, but it grew narrower. The sign is more confusing. Some language didn't recognize, others missing entirely. Then it turned to 30. The air felt thicker. I could sworn the river was this way. He muttered, glancing at the other direction. She smirked and struck me confessed time. I'm not, but I figured out well. Clearly, despite this situation, something about being lost together made them both they calm. Perhaps because they wouldn't learn in confusion. There were two minds trying to have. I'm, by the way, he said, then stopped. Actually, it doesn't matter. She just smiled. Right, let's stay strangers for now. Make the story more mysterious. They in a corner and found themselves in long little antique clocks, dozens of them hanging on resting walls and taking in different tempos. No two words in sync. What's this place? The boy whispered. Sister, it's like time forgot how to work here. They stayed silence, and one large converter clock struck at 1:37, underlying 5 left, and which was at midnight. This isn't on a map, she said. Nope, he replied. That's kind of beautiful. For a moment, the girl reached out a gently small clock. Its birds chirped eyes and started but laughing. Their laughter echoed down the wind chimes. It was the first sound joy stood in their ears. For down the path were mural eyes, horns of all shapes, colors, staring in every direction. The car stops. It was they're watching us. Maybe they are, he said. Maybe this is alive. Don't be dramatic. I'm serious. All peace. This feels like it remembers. She stared at him. You think the city has memories? He looked around. Why not? But remembers it. Maybe they remember us back. He took the photo of mural. He will read one day. I'm calling the city of with a mind. He grinned. And I'll be the lost boy who will run the way out. She raised eyebrow. Helps. You're the one more lost than me. They're beginning to feel playful now. The city has become a maze. It's no longer terrifying. It's a puzzle. And puzzles are meant to be solved. By later, found a circular courtyard with crackles of overgrown ivy. In the center stood bench surrounded by objects. Shoes without pairs, all typewriters, faded photographs, empty frames, and the balloons. It was like a graveyard for lost items, he said. She back out the photo of one parasol, laughing in emotion. This light, like others, no one claims, she said softly. They sat on a bench. The air recorded solemn. I think the people forget the place exists, he said. She looked at him, or they pretend don't, because getting lost scares them. You know, yeah, maybe getting lost is the only way something real. Their eyes met for the sign, there was no smile, just understanding. Eventually, one of the residents came inside the building. Curiosity pulled them apart. At the top, in the city of a patchwork pool. Thousands of shaded red of grey and some smoke curling from chimneys, others and quiet. The sun began to set, casting long shadows and building cities in amber and gold. They sat side by side on the rooftop edge. "You should be panicking," she said. "We should," he agreed, but I don't want to the end yet. Neither do I. They sat in silence, watching the sky turn to lavender, then deep blue. A single star appeared. You know, he said, this morning was just going to museum. I thought they will be boring. He laughed, and I was wondering what they say about the wolf. Ironic. Look at us. Lost strangers on a rooftop, watching stars. He turned toward her. Do you think we'll find our way back? I hope not too soon, she whispered. As the stars dominated the sky, there was footsteps. A tall figure was an old man holding a paper lantern. Its glow wore flickering. He wore a vest and hair tilted sideways, and had a walking stick covered with symbols. Ah, he said, his voice like to wanderers. They stood. The boy stepped forward, cautiously to leave here. Never said, no one lives here. This place for those don't know where they belong. The grass, then how do we live? He said, we stopped wanting to leave. That's where The path appears to be a front. That makes no sense. The man chuckled, neither does the heart, but he followed anyway. He found a dark alley that not existed moments before. Walk straight, he said, don't look back, and then he was gone. They followed the alley. See behind them, sighed as if closing its eyes. The path narrowed, brightened, together for a bus stop sounds right at the dull person of the city they knew. They stood in silence. Was that real? Yes, she's right, doesn't matter. He turned to her. Will I see you again? She knows the same time, same street, but it's the right bus. He grinned. Deal. In the weeks followed, after the room, but not for them. They started sitting together in the library, welcoming together in blue lips. Plus began to ask if they were dating. They all said no. But I both knew something changed. But they had got lost in the city. The one just were missing. He wrote a poem about the city of ice and clocks. He turned it softer with a softer. The city had given them gifts. They had been lost, and then now they were more than found. When the elevator stopped, it started as any other late afternoon on campus, the kind of hour when the sun slips behind the tallest trees near the west gate, casting long shadows over brick paths and forgotten benches. Students were spilling out of lecture halls, brushing the sleep from their eyes, clutching plastic cups of coffee with names spelled wrong. It smelled like a warm concrete and distant fried chicken. The fluorescent of giant scholars ready to call it a day. The boy wasn't thinking of anything particular when he left the economics building. He sat once placed himself instrumental track. His canvas bag clung to one shoulder, and his thoughts were already drifting to the weekend. He had no grand plans, just a few pages of overdue readings, maybe a quiet visit to Botanic Garden where the world slowed down and forgot about schedules. The girl had just finished a lab session that drained color from her cheeks. She was carrying a tote bag filled with glass slides, notebooks, and smudged with graphite. Her ponytail was coming undone, and her shoes made little squeaks on the marble floors as she stepped out of the science wing. Her face was calm, but her eyes darted around, only calculating with what she had finished before nightfall. They didn't know each other, not yet, but their paths were about to cross, and not in poetic. He dropped his book and she held picking him up kind of way. It happened in the most inconvenient, absurd type of day. Even it happens in the same level in the old humanities building, the normal coincidence, or maybe fate, if one were sentimental enough to call it that. He was into the door floor to borrow philosophy from a friend's locker. She was very observatory to left behind phone charger from the astronaut club. Their doors groaned as they closed. Inside the fluorescent light buzzed faintly. Two of them stood at opposite ends, each politely ignoring the other, the way strangers often do when trapped in confined space. They lifted upward once, then again, and then it stopped. The lights flickered, then total darkness. A loud clang echoed somewhere above them, and the silence. At first, neither of them spoke. The silence was too full of shock. Then the girl, wait, did it just stop? The boy finished. Yeah, I think it did. He fumbled in his pocket and turned on his phone's flashlight. A soft light glow illuminated the metal walls. The reflection startled and ghostly. She took a step forward, her calm mask cracking just slightly. This can't be happening. We're stuck. He shrugged. But there was tension in his shoulders. Seems like it. Pressed them much in the He did. They both listened for a sound. I think buzz of voice even dialed on. Nothing came. She pulled the phone, checked for signal. No bars, she said. He tried his two. Same result. They stood in silence for a few seconds more. The air beginning to feel heavier than usual. Will sat down against the wall, crossed her arms. Well, this is just great. The boy stayed standing for a moment longer, and then slid down across from her. He gave a soft, nervous laugh. This is the first time I've ever been stuck in the elevator. She raised an eyebrow. Lucky you. I've been stuck once before, but never with stranger. He offered a lopsided smile. I'm harmless, I promise. Are you always calm? Only on the outside. They looked at each other for a moment, two strangers in the box with no visible exit and no rescue inside. She sighed. We could be here for hours. He nodded. Could be worse. At least you're not stuck with someone boring. She chuckled, the tension easing slightly. For all you assume you're not the boring one, though she. Time passed strangely inside the elevator. The boy's phone battery slowly dipped. He dimmed the light. Casted them important dim golden hue. They all about how the classes they were missing. She was behind another paper about neutral hours. She was supposed to be revising in midterm market behavior. The small thought ran out. He began asking strange questions. What's the weirdest thing you ever had? He asked. She thought for a moment. One stream I was a cloud floating above the city. Then it started raining. couldn't stop. I floated everything. That's beautiful, he said. She smirked. Oh, terrifying. He said his birthday was inside the library where all books were playing and everyone spoke in reverse words. In a sense of time, he said, they served food. She had granola bar, tobacco, cars, candy. They split it between them like survivors in a bunker. Minutes turned into what felt hours. Eventually, she leaned back and said, "Oh, looking at the ceiling. Do you think someone's coming?" He exhaled. Eventually, I think the building must have been noise. What if they don't? Then we start a consideration here. Elevate the nation. She laughed. I call tips on being president. I'll be minister of sarcasm. The laughter faded and the talk was quiet. Inside spaces between them, something unspoken began to grow. Not about, not yet, not, but something real. As our humanity, a sense that we're longer just people with different natures, with different plans for the day. They were survivors of something silly and strange and really important. Our voice often, this might sound crazy, but I kind of need this. He blinks to be stuck in the elevator. No, not the part, the pause. Life's been rushing me so fast lately, I forgot we still. He nodded slowly. Yeah, I get that. Do you ever feel like you're just going through the emotions? Classes, deadlines, grades, expectations, but none of it realistic. All the time, he admitted, it's like I'm reading a book I didn't choose, and every time I read my own chapter, someone rips the pages out. They might have been. They hit her somewhere deep. She gave him a look, not sympathy but understanding. You ever think you're running away from all of it? He told his dad to where it doesn't matter, just some. The clock doesn't follow you. Maybe, but I think we can carry our clocks even if we run. Silence can, but not feel like sharp bread. A hum buzzed in the ceiling. The light flickered back out. Both of them looked up. Then the ever jerked once, then twice, and began to move again. Suddenly, it released them. The door slid open with a slow, metallic whisper, and all the light spilled in. They didn't move headwards. The moon was too surreal, too delicate. She stood up first and offered him a hand. He took it, surprised by one of her fingers. They stepped out together into the hallway. The world resumed. A janitor passed by, humming. A group of students laughed. And a vending machine laughed was unaware of a tiny university had just collapsed into the head of her. They stood there, blinking. Well, he said, stretching the bark of his neck. There was something. She smiled unexpected. Do you? He hesitated. Want a cup of coffee or something? Not just because we were stuck in the bed, just because I kind of want to keep talking. She started his face for a second, then I like that. They walked down side by side. They were still changing the voices said. No names has been changed, no numbers shared, but something had shifted. In Thailand, their lives, the ride was just a dramatic, tragic, and life-changing moment. Incredible turning point. The unspoken pause in the middle of routine. The moment they remember how still the school led to connection. They left the building without looking back. The lover stood silent behind them, waiting for the next patient, unaware that it had just hosted the beginning of a story that neither of them had planned.